Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? Let me know if the I fucked up the stream already. Because the quality, I didn't put the quality high on the stream. I forgot to put the settings on it, so it's running at like 720p right now. So letting you know if it is. If it's bothering you, I'll restart the stream and put it at a higher resolution. I forgot to change the resolution, so it might be a little low right now. That's where I'm at. So if it doesn't bother you, just let me know. If it does, and I could change the stream entirely if you guys want. What happens? You get back from being off one day, and that's what happens at this point. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. What's going on, John? What's going on, Ken? Fisty LaRue, what's going on, dude? Nyron, Henry 3000, TXC Beast, Glimmer of Hope, Sean, Glenn. We got Next Shift. What's going on, Next Shift? So what's up, Shakes crew, and happy Easter weekend for my loved ones. Yours. Appreciate it, man, so much. Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. Actually did a mixture of things. Good. All right. Anybody has an issue with the quality, just let me know and I'll start the whole stream. Because I kind of screwed up. Because I usually am used to doing some other things. So, we haven't talked in a couple days. Obviously, we talked on the shakedown. We were on the shakedown Saturday, and it's official today that HaasonReddick, the deal is officially done. I'm still like confused on why. I understand like why. I guess I don't know like why the not only like. I don't even think it's a question of like why the Eagles gave up Reddick, but why did Howie Roseman give up why did he accept compensation so for picks that we won't even have for this year? I mean, I'm still very confused. If you're gonna give away the player, gave away the player, which is bad, and the compensation you got back for him was even worse. I mean, there's no way. There's got to be something else I mean, I don't know. There's got to be something else in motion. Like Howie Roseman didn't fight tooth and nail. I mean, I don't even know, dude. Like I don't even know what the real issue is behind this whole entire situation. I know it's like we're beating on a dead horse at this point, but it's just, I mean, it just happened a couple days ago. It just gets to me, man. Wait, so what up, Joey? Do you think Mitchell is that good or just with the competition in the division? I think he's actually good. I think he's really good. Between him and Xavier Legette, like our two receivers, I would definitely want. If you're looking for like the big receivers, to start out as the wide receiver 3 for this year, and then kind of go like AJ Brown leaves in a couple of years. Got AJ Brown's here for another 2 years, this year, next year, and then have that guy prepared if that's what you want to do. Go on, Hector. I want Brock Bowers, tight end, linebacker Peyton Wilson, Max Melton. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the Eagles have a lot of interest in Max Melton. They went to I guess Christian Parker went to his pro day, was looking real closely at Max Melton. Brock Bowers is just God, what they could do in double tight end sets and the different things that they could do with him. 12-man personnel. With the athleticism he has, the separation that he has, the big. I mean, was he like 206, 6'4", 6'5", 240? I don't even know what. I mean, it's insane, dude. These tight ends are almost becoming, wide receivers at this point. They're so athletic. You need a number 2, but I mean, this brings a whole dimension to. This brings a whole nother dimension to your offense now, because now you can actually use 12-man personnel with what you have, because they don't have a number 2 tight end right now, with Albert O, Calcaterra, they're really the only one signed at this point. So it'd be interesting though. Reed extended for one more year? Really? I literally just got home, so I haven't went on. Really, dude? Really? Huh. We've signed Reed Blankenship to a 1-year extension through 25. Interesting. Yeah, I think they just want. So what was Reed going to be? So Reed would have been a. So Reed was no, he wasn't a free agent after here, was he? Have we had him for this long? Somebody look up his contract. Somebody look up his contract. Like, was he a free agent? I mean, yeah, I guess he was a free agent after this year. Huh. Okay. I guess that's where they're going with it. I guess that's where it's at. I didn't even see that. Tracy, hey, what's up? What's happening, Easter Bunny? Bro, today is the worst day in the world for sports news. Too many. Yeah, that's why I stayed off a lot of stuff today. Is that news even real about Reed? Is that even real news? Yeah, it is. Making sure. Yeah, who got who got Rick Ashley today? I got Ricked once today, but not about football. It's about something. I really thought something was serious for a second. It says Reed 1-year extension. Wonder how much we saved doing that. I don't think it matters. I think we have cap space. I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about that. Then I started reading some other stuff from Elliott Shore Parks that are 14.5 from HaasonReddick went to next year instead of this year, and there's rollover cap from HaasonReddick's $21 million cap. I mean, there's not much of a cap hit there. I mean, it's there shouldn't be much of a cap hit because the Jets took over 14.5 of that salary, so it shouldn't. The Eagles won't be losing that. Don't have that much of a dead cap hit from it. So Elliott Shore Park says smart move by the Eagles to not having Blankenship become a free agent after the season. Likely very little money to extend. Now avoid a potential issue with him as a free agent if he has a breakout year. So, I don't think the extension of Reed Blankenship means that they're not going after a safety, either Justin Simmons or Blackman or maybe Isaiah. Somebody's off the table at this point. I think it just means that they just don't want to. They're going to be empty at safety. They're going to have Chauncey will be the only one left if Reed leaves after this year. Now Reed and Chauncey have played next to each other. Well, I don't know if they played next to each other before. I'm not really sure. Because I know Reed came in after Chauncey's lacerated kidney injury a couple years ago, and that's when Reed really started to kind of show what that he has something in the tank, a little bit. So it wasn't too crazy. Let me because at this point we ain't getting Simmons. Been weeks and nothing happening. I wouldn't say it's because it's been weeks. It doesn't matter. Like, these guys might not get signed until after the draft. It could be potentially happening. Howie Roseman's doing multiple things at one time. Like I said, there's always signings after the draft too. It's not just this kid. It's taking weeks. Yeah, sure, but he's gonna sign somewhere, obviously. And there's been no news about anybody else. We just gotta take our time with it. What's on, Jonas? What's going on, man? Dean Stone says Cooper, DeJean, and Edge Cooper should be our first 2 picks. I like Cooper DeJean a lot, and I would see why they would draft him. Cornerback is, and I made a video on this morning on cornerback and drafting Cooper DeJean if that's what he wants to do, if that's what they want to do. If Bradbury's not being moved, we don't even have a nickel right now. Isaiah Rodgers is coming into the fold, and I don't know what they see him as. Probably more as an outside guy. That could move to inside, but let's just say he's moving outside. if they draft Cooper or DeJean, that I think there's a ton of value there because I think this is a guy that can move inside outside, so they could just throw him in wherever. And most of these first round picks, when you draft in the first round, mostly you're playing one position. You're not switching sides. You're usually just good at one side or whatever. But you have a guy that can move around and is a ball hawk and likes to jump those routes sometimes, and he's smooth in transition with his coverage. I mean, I think he's really good. I think he's good in open space too, making tackles. I think there's a lot on the table there with the Gene. It's not just putting him at one spot, but could be that Malcolm Jenkins type move. And I see the more hybrid guys you have, the better it's going to be. Sidney Brown's is a hybrid guy coming off injury. He'll be back this year. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson can play safety and corner. If they end up getting Justin Simmons, it would be another hybrid guy if they want to use another guy like that. So it'd be interesting. Simon Mesdor said, "Hey, I was just gonna say this. What are we doing for free agency? We got to take the good with the bad. He did a lot of great things. We just got to take this move he did to the chin. To be honest, what's up, bro? No, what's going on, Simon? Yeah, no, I get it, dude. I just don't get how they couldn't have gotten a pick for next year at least. Like that's what I don't get. Like you get rid of him, and it's like you're not getting a pick until 26." Like the 20, like it's already enough. You got to get rid of him, and it's already hurting just to get rid of him. But mentally, it's like, damn, this sucks. But then you get a 26 third round conditional. Like it turned to a second if he plays over 67% of the snaps and needs 10 plus sacks this year. That's a whole nother story right now. It says Fautanu, Cooper, and Melton as the first 3 picks. Damn. So I mean, offensive line is definitely not off the table, no doubt. And there's been a lot of interest. It's been a while. It's been a while. Got to get a first round lineman, and then you know what? And if they do, then great. I have no issue with it. But you're gonna redshirt a guy for a year. It's the only problem I have with it. But I can't complain when they try to get more offensive linemen. They need depth. They need a tackle like badly for the future. What says? Have you heard Devontae Smith is getting traded to the Cowboys for a 2027 7th round pick? Somebody put that news up today. Like you gotta watch out what you read online. It's the funniest shit though. It says the news says the conditional news for getting the higher pick is the Dallas Cowboys have to reach the NFC Championship game. That's when I was like really that's when I was like, holy shit. That is funny. Yeah, Reed Blankenship's extended. He's already extended. Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to lose a safety. You're going to lose him after this year. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, extending him, does that mean, I guess that just means they just want to keep him in the building. And, before if they think he's going to have a breakout year, he's going to be on the cheap on an extension. So he'll be here throughout the 2025 season. So we have him for this year. We'll have him for next year, which is good. But I don't think this makes it. I don't think this is telling us that he's starting or anything like that. I think this is just, make sure you just keep another player in the building. They want to see what he can still do in the next couple of years. Not saying he's going to get paid after a couple of years, but it gives you more time, like, on a cheaper deal. Dylan saw some report. Appreciate the super, by the way. Dylan saw some reports today that people were offering a 5th round conditional for next year, so they went with the 3rd and 26. it baffles my mind that they're like, it's just, the Eagles valued the Eagles valued HaasonReddick very high. I know us Eagle fans, a lot of us did value him high as well. But that's fucking ridiculous, though. Ridiculous. Tracy, I woke up with Devontae news on IG this morning. It totally got me for a second. I'm still mad. Look, whenever you trade with a division rival, okay? Whenever you trade with a division rival, you have to you gotta fleece somebody, dude. Like, you're not trading within the division for, I know it's a joke, but if you really trade within the division, like, you gotta obviously fleece a team. And that's pretty much fleecing a team. And if Howie Roseman were 2 strikes on that would have kind of sucked. But Nithy, what's going on, man? So we're gonna use every draft pick on corners, right? No, because I think they're high on Isaiah Rodgers coming in, and I think they're keeping Bradbury this year. I don't think he's moving anywhere. I think they're gonna try and get this pass rush up, and yeah, I think because when Fangio was a consultant in 22, and Bradbury had a pretty good year, I don't think they're getting rid of Bradbury at all this year. Clever host, a concern about linebacker group. Doesn't Fangio value linebackers in coverage? No, he does. I mean, I still think they need to add another linebacker. I mean, they've already hit the position 3 times. I still think they need to hit another guy. I know they're looking at some of these defensive ends that could be a nice balance between off-ball coverage, and I know they've been looking at Marshawn Nealon from Western Michigan. He's on a pre-draft visit. Really big motor. A guy that fits the scheme a lot better than Reddick does, I guess. That's how they looked at it, maybe. I think they just want more scheme fits that play better as role players. If they get an edge rusher in the 2nd round, which Marshawn Nealon looks like he's going to be a 2nd round pick this year, day 2. Dan says, Joe, don't worry, Joey. This is just part of how he's planning to get retained from Denver. Oh, man. Yeah, I've heard that a million times. Night Rider says, I believe there's going to be additional compensation for the Hassan deal. What do you mean additional? I mean, it's a 3rd round conditional turns to a 2nd and 26. That's really it. I mean, he's going to have 10 plus sacks, 10 plus sacks, 60, has to play over 67% of the snaps. So, I mean, there's nothing additional about it. I mean, you're either going to have a 3rd or a 2nd and 26, and that's it. But you're not going to actually have that pick in your pocket until after the season. Terry says, we only got 5 picks next. We only got 5 picks next year, so I expect heavy wins after the draft. Well, yeah, I mean, of course. Now, besides like guys that are holding out, or like maybe Justin Simmons gets maybe a 2-year extension. I don't know, maybe a 2-year deal or something. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But yeah, no, nothing. Everything else after this is gonna be pretty cheap, so I wouldn't really worry too much about it. Oh, switching 1st rounders? Yeah, no. It's already official. It's done. That's it. You're not, there's nothing more part of that deal. Official is official. 3rd round conditional in 26, and that's it. That's all it is. That's why it's bothers me tremendously. Nifty 3 day with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, I hope that I see Bradbury on a mountain bike so I could put a metal bar right in the spokes. You better play well or I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, he played well under Fangio, and we saw how the coaching was last year. I mean, I would rather have somebody else at cornerback. I think that we have athletically, I think we have better guys that are playing right now. Isaiah Rodgers coming to the mix. I don't even know if we have a nickel cornerback right now. I mean, is Tyler Hall going to be the starting guy? I mean, that's the closest to the starting guy we're going to have right now. It's a pure nickel at that spot. I don't know where else they're going to turn to when it comes to that position. Avonte Maddox ain't back, and I don't even know if they're bringing him back. I know he didn't sign anywhere yet. You know? So I guess we'll just find out and see. Find out and check it out. I heard Howie going after Josh Allen. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if there's going to be a big move behind this Reddick situation, but it really just pisses me off that they have got nothing in return for Reddick and they gave him away. It's just it just sucks, dude. It sucks. Production value, but I get scheme is different, so I get it. You know, maybe with Reddick more in coverage, he's not gonna be worth the money that he wants. I mean, I'm waiting for this contract. Still no contract for Reddick yet. Still no contract. If he goes there without even an extension and he plays on his contract, then obviously something really bad happened. Okay. If he gets a contract and it's like crazy expensive, 23 plus, 24, 25 plus million for the, yeah, then I can understand why the Eagles didn't do this and he wasn't budging away from his number. But I'm still waiting on an extension for Reddick with the New York Jets. There's no contract. There's no contract yet. I mean, nothing. Rons, I understand Dallas Turner would probably be a better fit for this scheme, but I do firmly believe Jared Verse is the better player. I want the better player for the defense. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, yeah, because Dallas Turner is more of a hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker, hybrid type guy like that you want for your defense. Like, yeah, he fits the Fangio scheme a lot better. I like Dallas Turner a lot. But Jared Verse is like, man, that guy has got a motor on him. That guy is probably. It's really tough for me to see that between Latu and Jared Verse on their pass rush. I know Verse has like 9. What does he have? Like 9 sacks, back-to-back 9-sack seasons last couple years, and I think Latu had 13 sacks last year. Yeah, I mean, both of those guys are almost neck and neck for me. I think those are the top 2 edge rushers in this draft, but team fit and edge rush. Yeah, Dallas Turner fits the mold, no doubt. Totally fits the mold. But it says some of us have too much stock in Justin Simmons when you're more likely to sign Isaiah Simmons before well, yeah, Isaiah Simmons will be really cheap. That's why. Justin Simmons, I don't think it's gonna be too expensive. I think he's still playing at an all pro level. The difference is he's playing at an all pro level. Isaiah Simmons, you're paying him cheap and you're paying him for, the praise of that he's going to be put in a good position to play really well. But with Justin Simmons here, you already got a voice, you have experience, you have a guy that's a little bit of a hybrid guy that could do a little bit more for you. So that's where your money is going. Gray says, hopefully Fangio has to pull in balls to be able to bench Bradbury if he starts this shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't. I mean, for what it's looking like that he's not getting a post-June, cut. Nothing's happening. I mean, I've been waiting for this Bradbury news, like if he's even moving at this point, and it just doesn't seem like it. And Bradbury's cheap too. It's not even that he's expensive this year. Like he's only a $4 million cap hit, a little over $4 million, but not that much. And Glimmer hopes to still think we need a wide receiver 3. I think they're drafting a wide receiver 3 this year after the first round. I think they're definitely going wide receiver. I think they're 100% doing. I don't know how much they put into Paris Campbell and Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker's 31 years old. They $1.2 million this year to cut him. The Eagles lose absolutely nothing. And Paris Campbell, I think there's I think this guy has played as a pure slot guy as well, and hasn't had played good 2 years ago. Didn't play well with the Giants last year, but who really played well with the Giants last year, regardless? Joe said, not going to lie, I don't want to waste a pick on average defensive end if it's not one of the top 4 edge rushers. Don't. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, look, it's hard for us because now it's like we're talking about corner, we're talking about safety, we're talking about other positions of need in the first round. But now with Reddick gone, Does it mean that's the most empty position? No, because you still have Graham, you still have Josh Sweat, but I still think you need another body. You know, it's just not enough for me. You know, Nealon came in on a pre-draft visit for the Eagles, and he's a day 2 pick most likely. He's not a top edge rusher, but as a rotational guy, he could probably get you 3-4 sacks this year, maybe. You know, I know nobody wants to get an edge rusher in the second round and get a lesser talent in the second round. And trust me, like if I was to get somebody, it'd be one of the top guys. But we'll see what they do in the next few weeks before the draft. We still, we still got some time, but one says if we get Josh Allen, all is forgiven for the Hassan trade. Yeah, you get a guy that's 26 coming off a 17 sack season, 16, 17 sacks. Yeah, it's but you're gonna have to give up. You might have to give up your first and your second round pick this year for him. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I don't know where the Jags are. I don't know where the Jags are in the draft when it comes to their board. Jeff Anton knew if Stalin really loves the guy, moves up and gives it to him. Yeah, and that's another guy they had on a private workout. Jeff Stalin is liking a lot of these linemen this year, and someone's getting drafted. First round, maybe. See. Go on, Joshua. I hope you're having a good day, man. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. Said if Latu and Chop get drafted, we could trade 22 and a third rounder to get Surtain like we did for AJ in 22. No, I think everybody's got to stop with the Alex Surtain stuff. I don't think Denver wants to move him. That's like their best player on defense right now. I just don't think it's going to happen. And if it's not all about Latu and Chop, Latu and Chop Robinson is sorry, but even Doris, I think even Doris is a better defensive end. I think there's 3 or 4, probably 4 more edge rushers that are better than Chop at this point. Chop is not the best player. If they draft Chop at 22, depending on who else is not on the board, I don't think Chop is going to be the better talent. I'm sorry, I'm not in love with Chop Robinson like a lot of people are. I mean, I looked at a lot of stuff on him, and it's just a guy that just doesn't have great statistics coming out for the draft. Really, 4 sacks on the year. I mean, not even 20 tackles. I mean, you know what I mean? He's got a good combine under him, a really good combine, and I don't want Chop Robinson to be the analytical pick in this draft because that would just destroy me. I don't think Chop's even worth it at 22, to be honest. So, Chris, I believe Slay, Rodgers, and Hall will be our starting cornerbacks. Ringo will play a decent amount. Starting safeties will be Simmons and. We'll see. We'll see if they even grab Simmons. They extend Reed Blankenship so he doesn't become a free agent after this year. Do you think Tyler Hall will start at the nickel spot, huh? I wonder if they feel that way. I mean, from them from limited snaps, Tyler Hall's played really well. He's played inside, outside, and he's played safety, So we'll see how it goes. Tyler Hall's going to be interesting. Moving zones a while. Why is the pick of Reddick staying on the podium? He looks so. What did he already have his? He had his press conference today. Because the reason there's so much dead money with Reddick is how he made his cap hit lower per year by adding void years. Now he is gone. You have to account for it. And that's what it is, I guess. Josh Allen from the Jags. He's on a franchise tag right now. They haven't come up with it's a non-exclusive tag, so another team can actually offer a contract to Josh Allen. And then obviously the Jaguars have to match that contract. And it seems like right now that's not happening. So, we'll see. Girls, I'd rather have an extra roster spot over Bradbury. I get it. Chris says, I know Bradbury's getting cut after June 1st at the restructure of his contract. Well, he hasn't been restructured. They have to extend him and then cut him, but they can't trade him. The trades are not going to happen with. What's going on, Dre Diesel? Super chat. Thanks so much, man. So I have a concern, Shakes. We keep saying, why didn't we just pay Hassan, right? But maybe we should be asking, why didn't the Jets just? Well, no, that's not hard. They didn't look at Huff as a. There's a huge difference there. Coming off of a rotation at 43% of the snaps with Bryce Huff, they didn't pay Huff because they didn't look at him as a $17 million a year type guy. That's just what it is. Off a rotation, they didn't look at Huff like that. Okay, HaasonReddick, they wanted numbers. HaasonReddick has a body of work. That's the difference. You're coming off of 1 year of double-digit sacks and a rotation with Bryce Huff, and you're coming off of 4 straight seasons of double-digit sacks from HaasonReddick. It's actually not really hard to figure out why they didn't pay Bryce Huff. They didn't pay Bryce Huff because it didn't. It's coming off of 1 year. That's why, like, if a player doesn't play well for a few years, and then like that last year he plays really well, it's hard to give a contract to a guy like that. If Bryce Huff had a couple double-digit sack seasons, and who knows? I mean, probably would. His signing probably would have looked different. They did try to re-sign him at one point. Then they went after. Then the Jets went after Jadeveon Clowney. That didn't work. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Totally a lot of things going on. I don't think it's that hard to figure out. I mean, between Reddick and Bryce Huff are two different. They're not the same age. Reddick's in a totally different span of his career as of right now. So that's where we're at. Appreciate the Superman. I still feel very good if it's Reed and Chauncey out there. Both comment each other really well, and Sidney would be back the end of the season for depth. I mean, I like Sidney Brown a lot at safety. I actually like Sidney Brown more at safety than I do cornerback. I still think they should add another body. They need another body for the season regardless. Like Sidney Brown might not come back till October. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. You need another safety in there. So Point of revenge to Jackson Powers Johnson, center guard beast who makes defenders crumble to the ground. Yeah, I mean, he's slated as the most athletic, best offensive lineman in this draft. And, like, if they feel like they want to draft a guy like that, he comes right in and starts at center, and they can move on to different things. They could maybe put Juergens at right guard and then maybe keep depth with Tyler Steen for another year. Keep depth with, Matt Hennessy, another guy that's had 22 starts under his belt last year. I guess would work out pretty well, so we'll see. SS Philly Rogers says, Roger might play for a couple of seasons by 26. The Jets might be rebuilding, so it makes sense to trade now and get something in return. Remember Derek Barnett? Yeah. I just think they should have got a little bit more, or at least a pick for next year or something like that. So I get why, like, hey, let's try to get some value for him now. But, Reddick played out even Reddick, already outplayed. He outplayed his contract within his first year being with us. Got J62 Moon. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat, man. He says, I think Isaiah Rodgers is going to be a dog for us this year. With Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, it's going to be an interception factory. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, Chauncey's been working his ass off. Isaiah Rodgers has been really working his tail off this offseason. I mean, this whole year he's been working his tail off. Just think of it. He's been on the exempt list. He can't be around the team. He can't talk to his teammates. He can't do much of anything. Of course, behind the scenes when he's home, he can talk to the team, whatever. But during the season, he can't be near the team or do anything. So, Isaiah Rodgers. I have a feeling there's big plans for him, but if they're not moving him to the inside, to waste him. If he's the better talent out there, put him out there. Don't just put Bradbury out there because of his contract. He doesn't cost much for this year. So we don't know what's going on with Bradbury yet. We'll find out what happens. We'll see. But give it time. Calgary said, do you think the Jets offer Reddick an extension, or will see this true value in next year's open market? Let me tell you something. If Reddick doesn't get signed to a contract, then what the fuck, dude? Seriously. If Reddick doesn't get an extension after weeks of this bullshit and he just leaves us like that, you know what I mean? And I don't know. Then there was a lot more issues than we expected. Then maybe there was a lot more going on behind the scenes we didn't know. I mean, it's been how many days? Few days. I know Easter was yesterday. But seriously, I mean, nothing's been done yet. Nothing has been done yet. Typo in the title. Oh, is there? There really? Oops. Right. Eaglers. I said Eagle. Eaglers. Eagles newsroom. All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I probably typed it really fast. It happened. Appreciate the lookout, though. It's fixed, though. Let's see. Chris, I don't watch Welch on my bets, and I have a back disability, so I definitely don't want to be Jake's Butler. What the hell? Well, I'm sorry. I mean, if you have a back disability, I am sorry, dude. Hope you've been doing all right. Being a Butler is probably gonna be the best thing for you. But yeah, I think Isaiah Rodgers is. I think we're gonna do good, man. I think we're gonna do good. I don't know if I went over this before. I think I did. Jade 6-1. I think Isaiah Rodgers is gonna be a dog for us this year. Chauncey is going to be an interception factor. Yeah. I mean, the back end. I think they can add another body. Like I said, Reed's extension doesn't mean he's going to be starting this year. I just think they want to keep another guy in the building before, like, God forbid he has to play this year and he balls out, then you won't have to pay him. You know what I mean? So they could totally, have him for another year and then he could leave. You have Chauncey here for 3 years. You need another body there. D28 says, I really want to see Ringo and Ricks this coming season. I really don't think we should draft cornerbacks first round, maybe later in the draft. I mean, look, I don't think Ringo and Ricks are ready as of now. We've seen some flash, but I mean, they need more time. Like, I don't think the Eagles are putting all their chips in Reed and Eli right now, but I would say Ringo has a better chance at starting this year if you were to give me a choice. Even after Slay leaves after this year, I think Keely Ringo has a higher chance of starting. So I don't think it's off the table that he can't start. But Eli Ricks, like, obviously both of these guys can't play on the inside. So that's not happening. But I think as of depth for camp and the rest of the season, I think they have some really good depth at cornerback right now. I think they're almost perfect at it right now. Isaiah Rodgers coming to the mix now is even better. So we'll see. Philly fans said, I feel like we're getting Cooper DeJean in the first round since the Eagles staff loved him when he was in for a visit. Yeah, I mean, when you hear news like that, and that came out the other day, when you hear news that, like, the Eagles loved him, like when a guy comes in on a pre-draft visit and the Eagles absolutely love him, that's a good sign. Because even when Jalen Carter came in on the visit, they were like, man. And then as close to the draft came, remember, reports were coming out that, like, yo, if you're there, we're gonna pick you up. If you're there, we're gonna get you. And Jalen Carter had an interview saying, there's a team out there that told me, like, if regardless, like, if you're there, we're gonna pick you up. And the Eagles had their sights set on Jalen Carter the whole time, and he landed right in our lap. Really, I mean, we had to move up one spot. The Bears didn't really have interest. We thought he was going to Seattle at 5, 6, whatever it was, 4 to 6. So anything could happen, man. Joe says we got to remember if we draft Edgar Cooper, he had 8 sacks last year. He could rush the passer, perfect scheme fit. Yeah, and he could cover too. He could run sideline to sideline. He's great tackling. So I would love E Cooper, man. Trust me, E Cooper and Cooper D. I'm fine with it. Mr. Bradbury's getting cut after June 1st. I'm telling everyone for the last time I'm done. Don't believe me. Grocer, we just extended Reed Blankenship Joey 1-year deal. That's fine. That's good. I'm fine with that. Extend Reed just in case he has a good season. If he has too much of a good season, the Eagles don't want to pay any more for him. You know, he's on contract for a whole nother year. Grace said, I think Haason turned into a problem child and wanted out. I don't know. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's hard for me to believe that they just on good. If Haason and the Eagles had good terms, they got rid of him and they got nothing for him. It feels like the Eagles were forced to like get him out of the building. I don't know. That's just me. I mean, Howie Roseman wants to compete for a Super Bowl, but Howie's not stupid, guys. Like, why would you not only just give up Reddick, but why? What's the reason for giving up Reddick? And why did you get such low compensation for 2 years later in 2026 for him? His contract with the Jets is going to show where we're at and what happened. This man doesn't have a contract by the draft. I mean, the next couple weeks, like if there's no contract he's already signed it. You know what I mean? Then I don't even know what to say, dude. I'm gonna be as confused as everybody else is. Lonely says both cornerbacks and tackle are deep in top talent this year. The Eagles could trade back from 22 and still get a player they like at those positions. If there's a run of QBs, it should be a good draft. Yeah, I mean, look, you're expecting how many QBs to be taken? What, 4 quarterbacks taken? I'm probably going to say like 4 edge rushers can go before. I'd say 4 quarterbacks, 4 edge rushers, a wide receiver or 2, a couple offensive linemen. Like, I think the Eagles will have the pick of the litter at 22. I think that's fair to say. They could have the pick of the litter at that point. So we'll see what happens, but it seems like it's going in the right direction. We'll see. Carlos says, the NFL really wanted Reddick out. If they would have kept him, and if he left as a free agent, they would have get a comp pick, which would probably be around a 4th. But they trade him for almost the same comp. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds about right. Jade says Reddick is gone. Who cares? Let's worry about who we have and we are who we're going to get. So the Eagles should draft me. I'd be an all-pro locker room guy. Would do shit on the field. Wouldn't do shit on the field though. Gone deep. Base. It just says, why do people keep saying Nolan's playing time will go up because Haason's gone? Huff is here. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Like, strictly, I think they're looking at Nolan, and I don't know if Nolan's going to be playing on the edge this year. So I think Nolan is going to be more as an outside linebacker, unless he bulks up another 8 to 10 pounds. I don't know. But apparently, from what we're hearing, is that Nolan Smith is going to have a huge workload this offseason. So I think Fangio likes him a lot, and you don't want to waste this guy as a first-round pick, you know? Hammer says, how could we pass up on a perfect nickname in Cooper Dijon? That'd be, yeah. I mean, they'll sell. They'll make a lot of money off that. That'll be a money maker right there, no doubt. Chris says Huff and Sweat will start as the edges. Graham and Smith will be back them up along with. Hope says linebacker Peyton Wilson is the best coverage linebacker in the last decade coming in the draft. He just gets hurt a lot. Yeah, I heard Peyton Wilson's big issue is durability. So I don't know. How early is Peyton Wilson gonna go? Gonna go first round, or is he a high second round pick? Late first to a high second round pick? Big Trag says this is Reddick's fourth team. Maybe he is a problem. Well, no, I mean, look, Jadeveon Clowney moves from team to team. Leonard Floyd moves from team to team. You know, Yannick Ngakoue, he's been on 5 different teams the last 5 years. You know, like, I don't think that means anything. I think these guys are looking for big, like, short-term deals. You know, some of these guys look for those big short-term, you know, big guaranteed deals on short years. So, Christy says, what would compensation be if they offer cheated for Josh Allen? A first and a second, probably. Probably 2 firsts in a second round or a first and a second. That's what it's going to cost you to get Josh Allen. It's not going to be cheap. 26 years old, in his prime. Coming off of 16, 17 sacks last year. That's what you're kind of looking at right now. All right, bro. So you think Howie trades up in the draft in the first round with future capital? Yeah, they could. I don't think they're going to need. I don't think they'll need to take future capital. I doubt it. I mean, how much are you trying to move up in this draft? You're not going to move up top. I don't think they even move within the top. They're not going to move top 10. I would say like maybe top 15, top 16, sure, maybe. But I don't think they have to move that far up because, like I said, like there's still going to be guys on the board between 15, you know, maybe 10 to 20, 15 to 20. Hail X2 says, how are we pronouncing Cooper DeJean name? DeJean. Big ups, Joey, from Scotland. Scotland, that's awesome, dude. I don't know. I mean, if he comes to Philly, it's gonna be DeJean. I mean, it's gonna be DeJean, probably. It's DeJean right now. I know he is, dude. I've been liking him more and more, no doubt. Hey, Robinson says he might have wanted to leave because the Eagles wouldn't give him a big contract. It's disrespect. He might not get anything more from the Jets. I mean, he can take it however he wants to take it, dude. Like, he's in a situation in his career where he wants different things. The Eagles organization is in a different realm right now where they're not going to pay somebody $25+ million as, you know, turning 30 years old in September. You know, and I don't think it's because of Devontae Smith's contract and everyone's thinking that. Like, you see how Howie's moving his money around. It wouldn't. I'm not saying they would have afforded him at $25+ million, but it wouldn't have been that number. No. You're figuring he would have got over $17 million a year because that's what Bryce Huff is getting paid. But he was still on contract. It's not like he was a free agent. He was still on contract for this year. So to me, it's just like, if he's still on contract, they could have just and I know he's got to agree to everything. I get it, but all I want to do is either extend him 1 year or give him a restructured contract. At least give him more guaranteed money up front. Give him more of a signing bonus and say, here you go. Just play out your contract for the rest of this year. We'll restructure your deal, and boom, it's done. So they didn't get nothing for Reddick. They got a third, possible second. That's not bad. Good players get traded for peanuts all the time in the NFL. Yeah, but dude, like we're trying to get. I mean, this is a Super Bowl year for us. If you're going to lose a player like that literally really game changes your defensive line, is your best pass rusher on your team right now. At least get some draft picks for this year or fucking next year, or at least, you know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. Like 2026, dude, is 2 years from now, and we don't even. So right now, we have nothing. We gave away Reddick, and we have nothing right now. That's how I look at it. We have no compensation right now, so we have to depend on not only Reddick has to. We have to watch. We have to watch Reddick play well next year. We actually have to watch him play like a monster and make us look even worse from this trade, But who knows? Him playing better with the Jets or him having a good year with the Jets is just going to show like, hey, you know what? We get a higher pick in the second round. You know, if he plays passes 67% of the snaps and he gets 10 plus sacks next year, you know, this year, I should say. I don't know. We're not guaranteed to get that second round pick anyway. You think the Jets are going to the Jets are going to lessen his snap count later in the season. Like they're going to fuck it. They're going to fuck us over. It's going to happen. Brian Burns gets traded for a second round pick. L'Jarius Sneed gets traded for a 25 third rounder. So at this point, you can't really, when you have to pay guys, like that's the issue right now. Like when it comes to older players on trades that are playing at a high level, you're not getting jack squat for those guys in a trade. You're not getting anything in a trade for those. From what it's showing, you're not getting much of anything in a trade, you know? So as a future prospect for the Eagles, like sooner or later, yeah, Reddick's gonna decline sooner or later. I don't think he's declining right now. And even if Reddick showed that he was declining just a little bit, then I would say, yeah, sure. I mean, there's Eagle fans that are saying, oh, he played bad at the end of last year. It's like, dude, like everybody played bad. No defensive lineman on this team played good at the end of last year. I don't know who played good at the end of last year, but no, I don't think anybody did. You know what I mean? I don't know. So it says, didn't Reddick stop talking to the DC at the end of the year, or was that false? If so, that's bad leadership to the young guys. Well, dude, like they fired. Yeah, well, I think a lot of people were pissed off. Everybody was pissed. Reed Blankenship said when they switched coordinators, Reed Blankenship had a problem. Slay had a problem. You literally you had guys trying to figure out Sean Desai's scheme, or Nick's scheme, I should say. You had a guy that was trying to fit under Sean Desai's system last year. And then they totally just demoted Desai. They tried to put in a brand new defense, but they tried to incorporate, Matt Patricia and some changes he wanted to do. It's like the Eagles were learning two defenses all year last year, or one defense and then a second defense last year. So when you're losing games like that, especially at the end of the year, and you switch defensive coordinators like that, no, I mean, I would say that guys were pissed off. I think when it comes to HaasonReddick, he's been the most truthful guy that we've ever seen. Like, I don't think we've ever seen him be disruptive towards anybody, or I don't think we've ever really had a problem with him personally. I think he's always been true to the heart when it comes to Reddick opening his mouth and saying things. So we'll see, I just don't know. I can only see this being the trade as it went because Reddick was a fucking problem. Whether he was a problem during this trade negotiation, or it was both a problem with trade negotiation and he was a pain in the ass last season. So I don't know which way it's going, The Mandalorian Dome said, what up, Joey? I think we have to wait what the Reddick trade was good or not. Depends on Huff and Nolan's performance. Well, no, I'm not. Look, I think Bryce Huff is going to be good. There's no issue with Bryce Huff. I think Bryce Huff is going to be a good player. That's not the problem I have. And yeah, Nolan Smith needs, Nolan Smith, he's got to play well. They got to use him and he's got to really show out, because if he doesn't, then yeah. I mean, that's a big gamble. It's a really big gamble. Get rid of Reddick, and you're putting a lot of your focus on Bryce Huff to do a fantastic job. And I'm not saying Bryce Huff's going to have double-digit sacks, but like I said, you say, we have to see, and I'm saying, I think we still have to see. So we don't know what we're getting from those guys. Bryce Huff might fucking get double-digit sacks. Who knows? If Bryce Huff has 5-6 sacks within the first month of the season, holy shit, that looks really good, But Bryce Huff will probably look better probably after this 1 year. He'll probably look a lot better. Off a big, going to his prime, off a double-digit sack season, not playing a full season. I mean, 10.5 sacks on 43% of the snaps is really good. I mean, who puts up numbers like that? And a rotation too, And Bryce Huff could play, guys. Like he could play, dude. That guy could play. There's no doubt. His pass rush is he's really disruptive, guys. I mean, that's the question. I don't question that, Kirk says I'm a believer in Blankenship. Glad we stemmed. No, I'm glad too. Like I totally forgot he was a free agent after this year, so it's good. So just in case he does play, he breaks out. They don't have to worry about like giving him more money or anything. So he's still on contract for another year. We got 288 in the chat, 286 in the chat as of right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. And make sure you like up the stream like crazy if you can. It does help out tremendously. Check out the pinned comments for becoming a member, supporting the channel. We're going to be adding a lot of emotes and a lot of stuff to the memberships this summer before the next season starts. There'll be a lot of updates for the channel this off season. But definitely make sure you go in and make sure you grab a membership for all the extra draft content as well. So it'll all be there. Let me just do one thing. Chris says Blankenship is a great backup safety. It's a good extension. So what up, Joe? I wouldn't be mad at Reddick leaving if he had assigned a guy like Clowney to take a load off Nolan. Well, I mean, you're saying another guy. I get it. It's another guy, So I completely get all of that. But at this point, I feel we have to wait and see. If they didn't sign Bryce Huff, this would be really bad. This would be even worse. Like, imagine if they got rid of Reddick and didn't even sign Bryce Huff. This would be tremendously horrible. Does this guarantee them drafting edge rusher in the first round? I don't know. I'm maybe hoping so. But time will tell, I guess. Time will tell. Okay, so they want big money that teams don't want to give, but they will go elsewhere, not even getting what they want. Well, that happens all the time. How many players say they're looking for a big? How many times, these players think they know everything? Like they go to another team and oh, imagine if this contract is really low. Like, what if this contract is $19 million a year, and we're sitting here seriously? They couldn't re-sign for $19 million a year, but at the same time, man, then what really happened behind the scenes? Or those players that go out and they're I want to go to a contender, and they go to a totally a team that you're just a contender. Yeah, okay, buddy, sure. They go to a team that's not even close to being a contender. It just makes me laugh sometimes when you see these certain guys try to go out and feel like they're getting what they're getting. To me, I think it's a complete joke, and that's where we're at sometimes, players. Unfortunately. It's a shame they didn't play Nolan more last year. We had seen something when Reddick moved, wouldn't have mattered as much. Yeah, I mean, with the coaching staff, it probably wouldn't have mattered as much at all. But Sean Desai is the one that was he was asked a question middle of the year and was someone's why isn't Nolan Smith playing? He's your first round pick. Why aren't you giving this guy a chance? He's oh, there's only a certain amount of snaps we can give people. It's dude, this is your first round pick. I blame that on the coaching staff for Nolan Smith not playing as much as he did. What do you have, a sack and 10 tackles for the year? I mean, that's all he had last year. So that was it. D28 says, Blankenship is not the answer, dude. Just giving up everything. I'd rather have Marcus Epps. Said, Josh Allen will cost you a first and a third in the draft. He'll cost $30 million as well. There's no way we're trading for him. We'll see. I said, I don't know. Everyone's going to cost a price. You know what I mean? Right, I'd be worried about Nolan Smith's strength more than anything. Same issue with Dean. I saw Nolan get absolutely leveled all season. If he's gotten stronger, he will be very good. Yeah, no, he wasn't ready to be an edge rusher. I rather have Nolan Smith. Last year, I would have rather had him as an outside linebacker, a Sam linebacker, and open space and just let him make these tackles. I think that's where he's going to be really good. On the line, I just thought it was just, I just felt like he just wasn't ready. He looked like as if he just wasn't ready to play that position last year. Chris, our defense should be better just by bringing Vic here. We add some good young pieces on defense. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of players are gone. Like this defense is like completely day and night now. Yes, some players are still here, obviously, that are starting, but I think as turnaround for attitude, mentality, leadership, voice, Devin White, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I think your two biggest voices. Brandon Graham coming back was good for a excitement level on a rotation, but because I don't want them reaching for a pass rusher at 22. I think there will be a Pro Bowl caliber offensive line around 22 on the board. I don't think Chop is going to be a 10+ sack guy a year. No, I don't think he is either. And the offensive line could be, really could be where they go too. And you know what? It wouldn't disappoint me. Like, I know it's not the sexy pick. It's not the pick everyone. It's not a crazy weapon. Make everybody excited. But you're lucky that this team really cares about trenches as much as they do, because there's a lot of teams out there that pay too many free agents and they just spend money in the short term, don't keep guys for the long term, and end up in a really bad roster in a few years with bad decisions because they just want to just fork money out and not get paid as a GM to go out there, use his brain. And, that's why Howie Roseman's been smart about all this. This is a team that really cares about the trenches tremendously. Rosen, man, I'm seriously hurt about the loss of Reddick. What did we actually get in return? Feels like Eagles Titans trade that we didn't win. Am I wrong? No, let me tell you something. It's not the same as the AJ Brown trade. Obviously we switched first round picks. We gave away a third for AJ Brown. So we swapped first. We just gave, the Titans a third round pick. So that's not that bad. You used it for that draft, which was good for them. But no, I mean, it's a third round conditional in 26. So if Reddick this year plays over 67% of the snaps and he gets 10 sacks or more together, so he has to hit 67% of the snaps, he's got to hit 10 sacks or more this year, the Eagles, that third round pick in 26 will turn to a second. If he doesn't hit that, it will stay as a third round pick in 2020. So if anybody's confused on it, that's what it is. Actually, Philly will 100% draft Latu if he's there, though. If it's Chop, they're going on their cornerback. Yeah, I get it. They could go inside, outside linebacker or corner. I believe it. I mean, Latu is going to go top 15, probably. Latu and Verse and Dallas Turner are probably the first three to go. Edge rush wise, probably. I'm not really worried about. I think Chop will be there at 22. It wouldn't shock me at all. So we'll see. Yeah, because all this talk about how Reddick was important for what we are doing next season, as good as Aaron Donald was, he got one ring. Khalil Mack, good as he got no rings. The list goes on. We'll be fine. I'm not chaotic. I'm not worried about it. The problem I'm having right now is it's really not even a problem. I think people are pissed off, and I get it. But I think I think the sack numbers are like getting to everybody's heads. I think it makes me crazy. I think it makes a lot of people crazy. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, the season's not over. It doesn't. Yeah, it may have weakened us a little bit, but it doesn't. He's not our whole defense. Reddick's not the whole entire defense. Okay. Number two, Fangio wants more scheme fit guys, and that's perfectly fine. I'd rather have a scheme fit guy at a lower price that's going to make plays, okay, and might add more to your secondary and make yourself really better. Like, I'm more of a scheme fit guy that can play edge rusher and off ball coverage that could do both that will produce and make plays for you. You know what I mean? Like everything doesn't have to turn to a sack, but being disruptive and linebackers coming down making plays, like it's going to help everybody else. You know, the more better scheme fits you have on this roster. I think people are getting too much into the sack numbers, and we can't replace that. Like nobody replaced Jalen Carter hasn't replaced Javon Hargrave last year. I mean, Javon Hargrave had 11 sacks with us before he left after 22. I mean, Carter didn't have those numbers, but no one really cared because we know Carter's going to be a good player down the road. But get this good coaching behind him, and Jesus Christ, dude, that guy could be wearing a yellow jacket in his future. You know? That's how I look at it. Like I look at the sack numbers, but at the end of the day, it's like if they get a more scheme fit guy on a lesser price that's going to produce really good, then I think that's going to be fine, you know. But just you lost a player you lost a consistent player, then you don't have to worry about not being consistent. I mean, Reddick's very consistent, every year, so you don't really worry about it too much. Load off our mind that he's not going to play bad or whatever. But Reddick is very streaky every year. Reddick will get like no sacks with 1 month, and then he'll get like 6 the next month. Very streaky. Sometimes he'll go weeks without a sack. And that's just what happens. Ryan says, Joey, what do you think about Philly trading back and picking up Tyler Nubin? I can definitely see it. Nubin be a perfect. Oh, Nubin is an athletic freak at safety, man. Minnesota, oh my God. I love Tyler Nubin a lot. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that at all if they grabbed a safety at that caliber. I mean, that guy, can cover the field with his legs, and he's a hard hitter, and he likes getting his hands on the football. I mean, he can run everywhere. I mean, that guy is going to be one of the best coverage. I think especially one of the best coverage corners in the coverage safeties in this draft, and it'd be a huge upgrade to our room, no doubt. We love him here. This is Reddick admit he was being greedy. Ryan's a Dallas fan. Nubin is generally the perfect fit for Philly. Would change their entire secondary. Great player. Yeah, I think he's really good. John says O-line is the best quality where we sit. I agree. Says, have we heard any Jets fans excited about the deal, or do they think it was too much? They don't know they don't know. I mean, look, they're taking on the $14 million for this year, but we don't know what the entire contract's gonna look like. Look, at the end of the day, look at this. The Jets are in NFL purgatory right now. Okay. How they're building a team right now, they're just trying to get a quick Super Bowl. That's all they're doing. They're trying to carbon copy what Tampa did with Tom Brady. They're trying to get some short-term success, and then they're gonna have to rebuild in a couple years. You know what I mean? They already wasted 1 year last year. Rodgers gets hurt within 4 plays, 8 plays. I forgot how many plays it was. Okay, I'm around Jet fans all the time. I live in New York, so I'm born and bred in New York. So I know Jet fans. I know Giant fans, especially Jet fans. I'm more friends with Jet fans. And this is NFL purgatory. It's just how they're building a team right now. They're just like they can't draft right. At times, they've drafted some guys here and there, but they've been looking for a quarterback for so friggin' long. They don't know how to get the right quarterback in the building. They can get other pieces in there. Their defense is good right now, but it comes down to what they do at quarterback. And the Jet fans get excited. I mean, that franchise is cursed. I mean, cursed. Joe Namath sold his soul for the Jets to win a Super Bowl. I mean, what was that? 68? I forgot what year that was. Crazy. Imagine if he gets 9 sacks for the year and they kick him out. Guys, enough of the Reddick trade. 17 people complained about the Eagles signing all their old vets after winning a Super Bowl and blamed it on down year in 18. Now people mad because we didn't keep a vet. Oh, yeah. I mean, an older vet that's this is, yeah, it's a little different because this is a guy that's getting double-digit sack seasons. This is, the numbers are consistent every year. There's a difference, like you're getting an older vet, but you're getting an older vet that's putting his body of work up every single year. I have no issue. I have no issue with them making any other move. The only move I wanted here, the only thing I wanted to happen this year, I wanted to get a running back in free agency, which they did. Okay, and Saquon Barkley was obviously on my list. I want them to either keep Swift or get Barkley, which they did. I want Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back, which they did. And I wanted to make sure Reddick was here for another year, or a restructured year, or an extended year, whatever. And it didn't happen. So I have no issue with them going young. Eagle fans are very, they'll say one thing and then like a few years later they'll say another thing. But we're talking about one guy that's pretty damn good right now. That's the difference. On a Super Bowl year where you don't get rid of guys with a body of work like that. So it's tough. It's a tough one to swallow. Pause. But Ryan, you said Philly's defense will not change without Reddick. I don't know. His production was a result of his teammates. I say this is as a Dallas fan, Huff will be great for Philly. I don't think so, dude. Three different teams, right? 3 different teams with double-digit sack seasons. I mean, who does that? Name another player that does that. Really? The only player that's compared to HaasonReddick is Myles Garrett. That's the only player that's in comparison. There's no players that do shit like this. He's a product. He was a product in 22. He was a product. So I guess every other good player in the defense is a product. I guess. You know which guys are products? Guys that have elite quarterbacks are products. Like look at friggin' I forgot his name already. There's quarterbacks out there that make their wide receivers elite. That these receivers get big contracts. They go to other teams. They don't do anything, and then they go back to the original team they were on, and they play really well. Like, I don't think Reddick's a product of everybody else. I mean, how is he a product of last year? They didn't play well last year, and Reddick still had 11, 12 sacks last year. Like, seriously, dude. Digital Tracks says, Joey, if Brock Bowers is still a pick on the board when the Eagles are due to pick, would you take him over the other needs? I mean, I'm not looking over needs. I'm looking at best player available. I don't care about needs in the first round. I'm looking at best player available, who's on the board. So if Brock Bowers is over Chop, I'm getting him. Because by 22, there's no Jared Verse. By 22, there's no Latu. I'm picking Brock Bowers over a receiver because I feel like the 12-man personnel is going to be insane. It would be insane. And Dallas Goedert's 28 years old. You know what I mean? You don't have a number 2 right now. Albert O and Calcaterra are signed. That's it. Nothing much there. Not much there. Gabe's on didn't even weaken us because he was a streaky with sacks and otherwise did nothing. We can get sacks between various guys who played overall better. No, I agree with that. I completely get that. I think the sack numbers are just getting to everybody's heads. So I get it. It hurts to a lot of fans because this is a championship year where to have a player that's very streaky like that brings us a lot of good luck to our defense, especially if it's coached right. That's all I'm really saying. I'm not saying that without him we're done for. I'm saying without him, like, yeah, he was the Mariano Rivera of closers when it comes to that edge. How many times, when we really needed him that he came out and got disruptive in the backfield and got a couple sacks for us. Done it. So, but I think they want, and I agree with you, I think they want more. They can get this from another player that's more of a better scheme fit, and it's not the end of the fucking world. I agree. Like, it's not. Like, I'd rather have, a D line right now is still pretty good. They add another body there, no problem. Everyone looks at the production, says you're not going to replace the production from Reddick. You're not going to replace it, but you can replace it with a guy that does maybe plays a lot more better in the scheme at little cost. Okay. I'd rather the linebackers play. I'd rather the defensive line's got to hit home, but I'd rather our linebackers play really well this year. I would pick our linebackers over our defensive line. I would pick our corners out over our defensive line. As in, I would rather have those positions succeed more in the scheme than defensive line. I know our defensive line will have pressure this year. I'm not worried about that under Fangio, and especially with the Miami Dolphins, he was third in pressures last year. But I would rather these other positions start to really come up instead of relying on the defensive line and bandaging up our secondary every year. And that's what I go in, because I feel like we get exposed. I feel like with a pass, with that, I feel like when we don't have enough of a pass rush, our secondary gets exposed because of this scheme. But we have to be athletically sound. They have to get guys that are athletic, not only in coverage, but that can go after the quarterback as well. Brad says Hassan had 0 pass breakups while dropping back. He was basically non-existent. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, that could have been an entirely different thing when it came to, when you see a guy like HaasonReddick that's not even getting any pass breakups, then, is he really worth the money that he wants going forward? That's where I'm kind of at with the whole situation. I'm just, part of me is mad because I like the player and I think he brings an intensity to this team, and, his numbers are good, and it just sucks. But at the same time, like, I get why, if the case is of why they got rid of him. Lambert says, honestly, I think the dark horse signing might be Bond. Zach Bond is going to be interesting because he had some little late success last year with the Saints. So for the last couple years, Zach Bond has transitioned from an edge rusher to an off-ball linebacker. Okay. And he had a couple picks last year. Like, Zach Bond might be a special teamer this year, but let's see what he could do. Like, I didn't think the Zach Bond signing was a bad sign. He's on a 1-year deal. He's looking to get paid after this year, so he's going to play his ass off. Devin White is the one where I'm really going to be excited for, because I think he's the best athletically. I think he's the best linebacker we have. You have a guy that's won a Super Bowl, a guy that's been in the playoffs, a guy that under Brady in the playoffs, I mean, he played lights out. He just hasn't really lived up to that 4th, 5th overall pick in a long time. And you have a guy going right into his, right into 26 years old right now in his prime. And I think Devin White's going to have a really big year for this team. I still think they need to add another player there. They need another guy there, because regardless of Nakobe Dean right now, like, the guy just hasn't been. He just hasn't been, available, and that's a problem. Hard for me to see, like, he's going to actually be healthy this year. Tough. Guys will say he was consistent per game. He just had a good sack numbers at the end of the year. I don't think most of his sacks came at the end of the year, but not with the few years he's been here, the couple years he's been here. Like I said, like, they need a more if you're just like, I could get it. So you're saying Reddick is not consistently good every game, but he gets you those numbers throughout the year. So I get it. I get that, we got to see what this contract's going to look like. We just got to see, because I need to know the truth here. Beard brother, what's going on, dude? No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. They said Chop Robinson has only been one attribute alone, wasn't even the best Penn State edge. That's been a problem. Sua says market is bad this year. Last year Panthers got offered 2 firsts for Burns and they turned it down. They only got a second and a fifth this year. Yeah, I mean, but still, it's a pick for this year. You know what I mean? That's the difference. You gotta wait 2 years. You gotta wait 2 years just to get these picks. Now, wait, well, yeah, you can use them next year if you want, because you'll have them. If you want to use a future pick, you get the extra, you get the second rounder or something. You want to use it, then I get it. But yeah, Blankenship's extension is fine. I got no issue with it because he's a free agent after this year. God forbid he plays, he balls out, then the Eagles don't have to pay him. He's on a contract for a whole nother year. So. Listen, Tommy said, why would the Jets let a younger up-and-coming player leave the building just to sign a much older Reddick for far more money? Do the Jets know something about Huff we don't? No, it's nothing about not knowing what Huff. You're not paying. They weren't going to pay Huff over $17 million a year. And look, every team has a different view on a player and how they value them. Okay, Bryce Huff is coming off of 1 double-digit sack year on a rotation. That's it. It's like if Derek Barnett played for us for 3 years and then his 4th year he balled out and had 12 sacks. You pay him? Hard to pay a guy just playing 1 year. I mean, look, and Bryce Huff was a undrafted free agent. He was an undrafted free agent. Like, he wasn't even drafted. And really worked his ass off to get to where he is. Reddick is older, much older, 4 or 5 years older, and has a body of work. And the Jets, Joe Douglas has seen what Reddick can do with this team. Seen it when we played against the Jets. He's seen it firsthand, what the kind of player Reddick is. They feel more comfortable paying Reddick because he's got a body of work and a reputation that's under his belt right now that you can't take a stick at. Like, compared to Bryce Huff, it's completely different. 43% of the snaps for Bryce Huff didn't play an entire year. That's a low snap count for, that's 1 year. It's 1 good year for. There, let's there. You know what? Let's go on his stuff right now. Let's just do this for the hell of it since we're here now. I don't think, are we all busy today? Okay. So if you look at his career, all right. I mean, look, do you think he's going to get an extension off of 1 double-digit sack season? Okay, he's had 17.5 in his career. That's it. 4 years. Undrafted free agent 2020, 2 sacks. 21, 2 sacks. 22, 3.5. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what happened in 2021 and 22. The rotation, to how many. I don't know how many games he's. Let's see. He played 14 games his rookie year. Played 9 games his second year, which he probably got hurt or something. So he missed like a quarter of the season. Okay, 22, he played 14 games. And then last year, so he still missed some games. So he still missed a few games when he got here. He missed a few games when he got here. Second year, he missed some time. Missed some time in 22 a little bit. It's all, and he was in a heavy rotation. 23, 17 games, 29 total tackles, 19 solo tackles, 10 assisted, 10 sacks. Yeah, that's it. So before his 10 sacks, he only had 2 sacks in 22. That's it. So it comes down to a body of work and why they didn't play Bryce Young, but you know, I watched a lot on Bryce Young. I'm sorry, Bryce Huff. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying Bryce Young. Bryce Huff. That man's gonna be good. That guy could. I think I don't know for some reason like I think he's got big time explosiveness off the line. I think he's better as I think he's a little bit more explosive than Reddick coming off the line, to be honest with you. If you want to be like honest on it. So but for Rogers will be going and that 226 pick will be high because the Jets will be bad. Huh. Interesting. Goes around Quara is literally every better than every linebacker we had on our roster last year. We have to remember, yeah, Ghostman's right. We have to remember we have that Aquara guy that we picked up after the season was over, and that's a guy that's flashed a lot that hasn't been in a consistent scheme as an edge guy, and he's been pretty damn good. Just hasn't been, like I said, hasn't been consistent as a player, but has shown a lot of high reward when he plays really well. So and he probably would be, to be honest. For it says you always want players' best years to be the last year played. Or as a camp body. Yeah, for now, but it's a body. It's still a body that he's shown. Like I said, he's shown that he could play in Fangio's scheme in the past. But like I said, it's another guy that's a low risk, high reward type move. That if he works out, then great. So who knows? Like Nakobe Dean, like who knows? Like Nakobe Dean, like if he can't stay healthy this year, he's done. Like it's over. Got hurt 3 times last year, 2 times in IR. You know. See. I just thought they re-signed Huff for like 10 million, Joey, rather than spend an extra 15 mil on Reddick, but I get the whole body of work. Well, that's why you're going to pay more money for Reddick because he's too consistent over Bryce Huff right now. Ryan said, I'm shocked the Eagles didn't sign or trade for any real cornerbacks considering their age at the position. I mean, no, I think Slay could still play. I just think I think it's just usage of how they use these. I mean, nobody could talk any shit about it because honestly, it's like the whole defense didn't do well last year. No positions. I mean, really, like at the end of the day, who played well last year? And then we're not even like looking at numbers. We're just saying in general, like who really played that well last year? Like that stunningly well last year. By the end of everything, I don't remember one player those last 7 weeks that played good. Everybody wasn't coached right. Soft practices lead to soft games. No mentality. They were completely mentally done. I mean, everybody failed. It wasn't one guy. It was everybody. It affected everybody else. But I think I understand the 26 pick since the Jets are going all in this year. Howie is banking on them collapsing in 25, which would give us a high pick in 26. Yeah, but that pick though, that this is based off of this year, so that pick is based off of this year. It's not based off of next. Based off of this year, when they have Aaron Rodgers and they're going to have some pieces they've gotten off. They're banking in, and I don't know, like that's not about the next 2 years. It's about this year. That pick turns into whatever it is. So if the Jets end up playing like shit, the Jets end up playing like shit, and Reddick still gets, has good numbers for the year, then that's a good thing. Probably says for the last 10 years, every GM will tell you they consider a pick for the following year like a round later than what it actually is. It doesn't change just because the Eagles did it. I agree. So my best friends are Jets fans. He was pissed about losing Huff, but he also said that Reddick made it a little better. Yeah, but it's I don't know. The Jets are the damn Jets. Julian Pereira said, "You think we still go out and get Justin Simmons?" I think there's, there's still guys out there. Julian Blackmon's still out there. Justin Simmons. They still Isaiah Simmons is still floating around there. If they want another hybrid guy to this defense, they want to use him a specific way. So there are guys out there right now. We'll see. Yeah, Milton played okay. Like I think Milton, Ojomo played okay. I mean, Fletcher Cox played good at the end of the year too. Like, I guess like that's really it. I mean, Milton played, made some okay plays at the end of the year. Like Ojomo made a few good plays. Like, yeah, a little bit. Like, they made a little bit of some differences, sure, but I wouldn't say that much. But they nothing to go crazy about. The Milton would be a starter any other team. Deserves more playing time. Loved his tape out of LA Tech. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be be on the outside, not as a nose. Will be on the outside now, which is good. Will be in the three. So I'm pretty excited about it. Milton's gotten better every single year. So our main issue last year was coaching. I never seen a team not try to adjust to blitzes, and have never seen a team reluctant to use motion on offense, coached like a high school. Pretty bad. It was pretty bad, guys. I mean, you can't expect like your play. I mean, look what you did all. I mean, even offensively, I mean, they just couldn't get anything right. You couldn't even dominate one game with the weapons you had. And what got them by was because of the weapons that they had. Now, this is the Kobe Dean is nice. Just got to stay healthy. I don't know if he's good or not. I have no idea if he's even good, to be honest. Even when he played, he didn't play well. Coverage wasn't good. Everybody didn't play good. So I got to take a lot of factors in. I got to take bad coaching. I got to take Nakobe Dean's not playing well, and then Nakobe Dean can't stay on his own 2 feet. Hurt 3 times, on IR twice. Nakobe Dean is not an NFL player. I'm too small, too slow. Can't cover tight ends. Without Carter and Davis, he would already be. Well, I don't think. I think they won't even care about him if he doesn't do anything this. Honestly, got a good feeling we're going to be begging Howard to re-sign White and Rodgers after the season. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Isaiah Rodgers really needs an opportunity. He really does. I think he could play outside. I think he could play inside. I don't know where they're looking at him to be. That I know Lurie said that. I think Lurie, or I don't know if it was Howie or Lurie that said at the breakfast that I think it was Jeffrey Lurie. I'm not sure, but I think he said that Rodgers was a part of their plans forwards. Right, Joey, what do you think about running back? I feel a drafting guy like Corum or Allen in the later rounds would help Saquon and the team. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really big on too many of the running backs this year. I'm not. I had more interest in this free agent class, which they picked up. They picked up Saquon Barkley. They have Kenneth Gainwell that will get less snaps, hopefully. Um, Kenny G is a free agent after this year. So they have that Tyrion Prince, whatever his name is, Davis Price, whatever his name is. That's the guy from the 49ers, a shifty, I guess, shifty type bruiser, I guess. That really hasn't had an opportunity, so he's here. They could add one more body, I guess, in the mid rounds or something. That's where they want to go. So I still think our players are better suited for 4-3 pressure scheme, yet we are going 3-4 off cover. Trust me, I get it. Like, I hope we're doing the right thing for these players because this is either going to go really well or it's going to go really bad. I don't like that you're going to force players to be, I don't think they're forcing too many players now. Like, they've gotten rid of a good amount of players. They're getting more scheme fits in the building. So, we'll see. Tommy said production doesn't go up. I'm out on both Dean and Davis after this season personally. Yeah, I'm the same. Definitely Davis needs to have a good year. And like I said, everybody hit a roadblock. Every defensive lineman hit a roadblock. But early in the season, we saw Jordan Davis, go after Josh Allen this year, in that Bills game. That pass rush that he had early in the season, which we didn't really expect. We just decided to say he was more of a run stuffer. He was going to clog up the middle, and that was really it. But man, he showed a lot more. But everybody did. I see that Milton Williams and Jordan Davis have been working out like crazy this offseason as well. So yeah, Jordan Davis needs a really good year. He's a very, very good year. Also, Howie was brilliant for extending the read right now. His value going skyrocket after. Bro, so I do give Davis some credit so far. He's supposed to be working out now, trying to get a good shape for next year. Yeah, he needs to be in better shape. No. Because they can't stop thinking about pairing Braylon Allen with Saquon. I love Braylon Allen, no doubt about it. But I don't know how they're looking at the running back position. I don't know where Braylon Allen's going to get drafted. What round? I mean, mid round type guy, or is he day 3? Guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out for sure. Richie says Rashee Rice and got a pick into. Yeah, that was some bad news the other day, no doubt. Pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie. Pretty bad. Well, yeah, I mean, we're in the aftermath of everything right now. We have the draft in less than a month, and we have a lot more to see what they're gonna do here. We'll see what happens. Lewis is not sure. Third round is my guess, but early fourth for Braylon Allen. Steve says, Joey, would you be mad if we didn't draft defensive end? And the first, I don't think so, because I think you still got to draft the best guy that's on the board. So if it ends up being a need, then great. If it doesn't, then I'm not gonna be upset at it. They grab another offensive lineman, I'm not gonna be upset at it. They can grab Powers if they wanted. I wouldn't be mad. They can grab any of those offensive linemen. I know it's not the sexy pick. I get it, but I can't complain about it. I can't complain about it at all. I think they should, wherever they can, if they want to move up, if there's somebody on the board that they really want to get, that's high on their draft board, and they don't want to sit and wait, pull the trigger and just move up. While Swift and Barkley would be scary 1-2 punch, but Swift wanted to be number 1. Yeah, I mean, that I knew that was never to get Swift and him. That wasn't going to happen. So what did he get? Not 8. What did he get? 8 million. Swift got 8 a year. Yeah, I think Swift just wanted the money. Honestly, I mean, this is who knows if he's have a 1,000-yard season with Chicago. See what happens at their quarterback spot. They should be drafting what's his face anyway. They got a lot of good weapons in that offense this year. Um, you know, I don't think so. No, I don't think Reddick says. Bro said, if they pick an O-line, would you want to be a guy who could be a plug-in guy immediately or sit behind Lane for a year? Well, that's the problem. Like, if you drafted Powers, then he would start immediately, and then you put Juergens at right guard. So if you draft, somebody else, one of those other couple guys, then they do have to sit, and I really don't want that at all. I think the only offensive lineman I have a lot of interest in would be Powers, just because I know he would start immediately. It doesn't make me more upset at the other guys being drafted, but I think it's a complete fucking waste. Oh, did he have his press comments already? I don't know if he did. I mean, I haven't. I gotta look on Twitter because I know people are going to be talking about it. So Reed Blankenship's contract. Here we go. So the Eagles' Reed Blankenship extension pays him a fully guaranteed $3.9 million over the next 2 years. Sources say he can earn another $1.3 million via playtime and Pro Bowl escalators. $375,000 for 70% playtime, $625,000 for 80%, $875,000 for 9%, $500,000 for a Pro Bowl. 3.9 million in 2 years, fully guaranteed. This year and next year, 3.9 million fully guaranteed. So technically, he can earn another 1.3 million if he plays between 70 to 90% and makes the play and makes the Pro Bowl. So good bargain. Not bad at all. But we still need another body, though. Yeah, so Reddick looks horrible. Reddick looks like he wants to. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on Reddick from anything he said at his press conference. I mean, it's. So let's see here. John Clark tweeted out, it wasn't. So this is a quote from Reddick, I'm guessing. So this is HaasonReddick on being traded to the Jets by the Eagles, his hometown team. He said it wasn't about what he has left in the tank. It's a business, and sometimes hard decisions have to be made, even if you don't like them. Yeah. I honestly, I think he just. I think from what it looks like, it just from that statement in general, I think it honestly just down to it came down to not budging from not budging from what. Fucking these people in this fucking April Fool's shit. Can't stand these motherfuckers, dude. It annoys the shit out of me. I'm sorry. Like, oh, it's so fucking annoying. I hate people. Really fucking. Oh no, no, he got an offer. I mean, of course the Eagles had an offer on the table. He didn't take it. I don't think, from what it sounds like, Reddick didn't want to leave. That's what it sounds like. Reddick didn't want to leave, but Reddick wouldn't budge from his number, and that's it. But I think there's more. I think that's it. But I want to see this. I want to see this fucking contract. That's like the last thing. Like after that happens with Reddick, like the only thing I'm gonna talk about Reddick is I want to see his contract. I want to see what his contract looks like. I want to see what his number actually looks. Yeah, it's very cheap. I wish my job would give me a big bonus for working 60% of the time. I know I shouldn't have fucking went live today, bro. I shouldn't have, because well, actually the chat has been pretty damn good today, so I'm actually happy. No one's like, oh, I seen one or two people do it already. Oh my god, Devontae Smith got traded, or oh, Reddick, like fucking pisses me. Nah, having your birthday on April 1st would probably be the worst. If I gotta see one more Rick Astley video, I'm gonna flip out. It makes his let's get Smitty paid, Simmons signed, go defensive end, O-line, corner with our first 3 picks in the draft, and we'll be ready for Rock. You said Reddick looks miserable. Yeah, there is somebody posted a picture of him at his press conference. He just looks like he's totally out of it. I think people just take a picture of a guy like when he makes a like when he just looks. I don't know. People make a big deal out of it. I don't know. I don't know how he feels, and definitely I don't know how he feels like in general. You know, they just take whatever they can get and be like, "Oh, look, he looks depressed." Reddick's like, man, Reddick's talking about the Jets, saying, "Man, we have dogs at each level of the defense." You know, telling you right now, dude, the Jets ain't winning the damn thing. We'll see Reddick again anyway, because we usually have preseason against the Jets every year. All right, OBS just reconnected for some reason. I'm saying, guys, I think we need to. Yeah, I mean, like, we're gonna move on from this situation where it's gonna be. All right, I'm just trying to look for other shit on here. I'm trying to look for more stuff on here, but we'll see. KX says hearing Reddick try and talk up the Jets is funny. He's literally saying the same shit he said in his first Eagles presser. They will be irrelevant. Bet he don't get 10 sacks. He might not. The Jets defense can be as good as they can be this year, but it really depends on Aaron Rodgers and how far they take him. So this is Reddick basically said the Jets have better players on defense. Well, dude, it's not. He's not saying he's not. That sounds like he's not saying that they have better players than the Eagles. It's just he's gonna say shit like this at a press. He's not gonna say bad things about the Jets. He's gonna say good things about the Jets. So it's a PR press conference. That's all it is. Guys are gonna. We need the full Philly 500. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure actually. I don't know if you could trick him today. It's already middle of the afternoon now, so I don't think you could trick him too much right now. Let's see. Yeah, it says if everyone stopped looking at the sack and start looking at how he got the sack, he will have a great talent on the. Like I said, it comes down to, like, I think it comes down to a scheme fit guy, and if you have a player like Reddick that's more streaky, that won't get specific sacks in 1 year, and that's all we're relying on, then it's not like I said, it sucks, it hurts, I hate it, but I think they can get a player in here that could do great for the scheme, and I have no issue with what direction they're going to go into. We'll see where they go, but. The news on Britton Covey says Eagles still have a few things they need to do internally, including extending Britton Covey. I'm told they have had extension discussions too. It's unclear how close or serious they are. Offers others include Devontae Smith, Milton Williams, and Jordan Mailata. Did you see Devontae Smith's contract of what it would look like on Spot Track? It was like 4 years, $91 million, fully guaranteed. Which is actually a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be. But, I mean, I think they're going to give him more money regardless because the Eagles will just give him more. I mean, 4 years, 91 million fully guaranteed is like what, 21, 22 a year? Something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's reporters out there saying like, Howie fumbled the ball on this one. Um, like I get it. It looks like the trade looks really bad. It looks bad from a standpoint of just trading a player like that. It looks bad from compensation you got back. But at the end of the day, I think the Eagles will be the better team in a few years than the Jets will ever be. That's just me. Um, he says, Joey, would you rather have Latu or sign Blackley? Anyways, you give only one choice. I'd sign Latu in a heartbeat. Probably. I'd probably sign Leatu Latu. Most likely. I feel fine. I mean, look, you got Reed, you got Chauncey in the back end. Like I add another body, but if you're just giving me a choice right now, I'd sign Leatu because he's gonna produce immediately. Blackman's coming off of a serious injury last year. Low risk, high reward move, but coming off of an injury. Tua says we can have both. Yeah, which that's very realistic. Yes. Lumberoo says until you see the full picture, you can't say whether it's good. No, I agree with that. I mean, we're all speculating, and there's people out there like there's other analysts in the NFL are saying, "Oh, how he fumbled the ball on this one." I think he's a really good GM, but I think he just fumbled the ball on this trade, and there's got to be reasons for it. And if I see that contract and it's like $23 million a year, no thanks. If I see no contract, if we don't even see an extension for Reddick and the deal's not, and he plays this year on 14 and a half, on 15 million for the year, then something went down. That something went down behind the scenes. I said, hypothetically speaking, with the cap we have, and it's possible to extend both Smitty and AJ Brown. Brown, no, unless he comes back for dirt cheap. I think Brown's going to reset the market. Unfortunately, in a couple years, really depends on Jalen Hurts, their relationship, and if AJ Brown really wants to go to another team. You know what I mean? He got his money. He's satisfied. He's good. But if he balls out even more, which he's not saying he's overcompensating his contract now, but he's playing up to par with his contract right now. So the amount of money he's getting paid right now is he's living up to his deal. But we'll see. That's why drafting a big receiver in the after the first round would be great. You want a big receiver, play wide receiver 3 with speed, a big guy with speed, Xavier Legette. You want to get a Donovan Mitchell? Go get him. Go get one of those 2 guys to play in that wide receiver 3 spot, and then when AJ Brown leaves, you move one of them to the outside. That's what I think you should do. Don't want to waste a pick on a safety when you can just sign one. Yeah, I mean, if you want to sign a short-term guy that plays at a high level, you're going for a Super Bowl this year, so you want to get a guy that fits the scheme well, that you don't have to produce. You know, go get Justin Simmons. You know what I mean? Yeah, we definitely need a wide receiver 3, dude. I agree. Have you seen there's something about that? I mean, have I? So it looks like the signings for Paris Campbell and Will Greer are official today. Yeah, it says to me the Eagles are rebuilding on the fly and just don't want to tell you. I don't think so. They got to take some guys out and put guys more scheme fits. No. Everybody thinks you add new guys to a system, it's going to take a while. That's why you have an off-season program. But if you have injuries with guys during an off-season program and they miss time, they're not going to play. They're not going to play well all year. That's just how it is. Yeah, Reed Blankenship's extended 1 year. 3.9 fully guaranteed 2 years. And he can make another $1.3 million if he plays over a certain amount of snaps. Good. Guys, all of his old if all his old ass cares about is money, then buy. We had a good D line before Reddick, and we will have one. Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, dude. Like, it's gonna hurt. Like, I get it. I was a little surprised, but it's not the end of the world. Like, I can't put all my feelings and emotions into a guy that just has sack numbers. We got to have more than that. We got to have good defensive play. I can't sit in a room and pray that the next guy that comes in is going to get sack numbers like that, where you can have a better. If all Reddick can do is play end and he can't play as an outside linebacker off ball guy, then they have to get rid of him. Then I mean, that's the way it goes. What's your realistic top 3 you want in the first round? Realistic top 3 right now? My realistic top 3 would be Laiatu Latu, Cooper DeJean, and if I really want to go further than that, Probably E. Cooper. Which they won't do, but top 3 guys I want. Pretty close. I like a lot of the edge rushers. I mean, Latu and Jade and Verse are 2 guys I would really want. I'm starting to like Verse a little bit more, but I think Huff playstyle better for a Fangio with Nolan as a speed. Sure. Does our offense have enough firepower to have an okay defense? Well, I think they should just add more youth to their defense and let this offense just score points. But I think they need another running back. I think they need more offensive line depth or a starter, or if they want to grab that Powers guy, they can. If they drafted Powers in the first round, I would have no issue. I would have no issue with it. Jess, find out. Definitely, we'll never know. I certainly have my. We're gonna know. We're gonna know by the money that he gets. We're gonna know. Like if Reddick plays on no extension this year, then some shit happened. If he plays on a $20-something million, a year deal, then we know what happened. We know the Eagles weren't gonna. You know what I mean? We know. Reddick. If this trade, sorry, but this extension for Reddick or this, the talking between 2 sides with Reddick still being on contract with the Eagles right now, okay? And it went from fucking March to fucking April. I mean, it took weeks for this thing to get done. Even after the season was over, it took weeks. Seriously, after a first round exit in the playoffs, it took weeks to get this done. If it took that long, then yeah. Oh, Verse is going to be, Verse will be a top 15 pick. I think Latu will be a top 15 pick. Yeah, Bowers is, we're going to see how the board falls, man. Let's see how the board falls. Latu, Verse, DeJean, E. Cooper, Brock Bowers. A lot of talent, man. I don't care. Like even the first round, if the next guy is like, say, I mean, it really depends. I mean, I want to see how this board falls. It'll make more sense. I think Dallas Turner is the better fit on the edge because he's more of a hybrid guy. But I don't mind because I think Brock Bowers would be interesting because not only it's like having another receiver on your team, dude. It's like 12-man personnel. Like, you know how much more creativity we could have? Offensive line definitely one. Brock Bowers could definitely be a talent that no one expect the Eagles to get. Maybe. I mean, look, Goddard's 28 years old. There's no number 2 tight end right now. I mean, they're going to have to make a decision within the next year. By the time Goddard turns 30, his contract will be up after that year. So, Ray says Brock Bowers will be one of the best players in the draft and will be going top 10. He might. It could be. One hand says Goddard is always hurt, so another time would be good. Yeah, he's. Oh, I mean, I can't believe the last 2 injuries. I can't really blame him for. I mean, he got his forearm broken. I mean, that Cowboy player did him dirty in that game. So I can't blame him for that. That'd be. So there'll be a video out tomorrow on obviously different situations the Eagles can go in the first round. You know, whether it's offensive line and the offensive lineman, or maybe we'll go over some first round picks that I would definitely want and why that would make sense, best player available wise. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, I would honestly pick Brock Bowers over Quinion Mitchell. I'd pick over the top corner. I'd probably pick a tight end because there's just no right now with how our roster is right now. I don't think they're going after the best cornerback. I just don't see it happening. I pick an offensive lineman. I pick a defensive end over the best corner. I pick the best center and the best edge rusher over the best corner right now. Conscious Dallas Turner going top 10, take him out of the potential. I think it'd be okay if we aggressively moved up the build defense in the draft and try to copy Casey. I'm sure they will go Lane's replacement first. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. You know, they want to move up and get some of these guys, sure. The only issue I have is like I don't want a guy to sit behind for. I mean, production is just ruined production. You know, not getting any playing time. You know, it sucks. It sucks. No doubt. Oh yeah, guys. We have 215 in the chat as of right now. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and to let you guys know on some of the updates coming this year, or at least with the draft in general. Me and Philly 500 will be drafting. We'll be streaming the whole entire draft together, and having a good time. So if you guys want to join up on there, we'll be live for 3 straight days. And we'll have a lot of fun and do our thing. If you guys haven't liked the video, like the stream, please like the stream. It does help with the channel a lot. Check out the memberships for all the extra draft content as well. Any tier, doesn't matter what it is. Pick any tier. You get all of it. This is for support and obviously all the extra draft content. So we're going to be streaming tomorrow as well. We've been streaming mostly every day. So this month, usually March is like to April or like my streaming months where I stream a lot more than I usually do. Because I like to keep in contact with you guys and talk about certain things that do happen. So, you know, so we'll see if another move ends up happening within the next, you know, hopefully tomorrow. Maybe something will happen. Maybe we'll find out some more things. And the Reed Blankenship extension is an interesting one. So, you know, and we'll see. Other than that, guys, that's it. But I'm going to get out of here. I got some stuff to do. It's already like over 5. It's like 5 in the afternoon. So I'm going to get a few things done for tomorrow and some other things. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. We'll be back tomorrow. And I'll see you guys on the next one. What up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.